Okay. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to L Space. My name is Tristan, and today I'm doing a rather quick birthday book haul video. I, again, life tends to get in the way of my overall plans. I have a video that I'm working on currently that is talking about basically just like queerness and queer representation in novels, and I am very excited to get that one out. Here's hoping that that is something that I can finish by this weekend. Definitely thought that I could get it done by last weekend. Didn't. Plot twist. Um, but yeah, I recently celebrated my 32nd birthday on September 9th. I filmed a video on that day, which was fun. And last weekend, I had one of my best friends from Seattle come visit me. Well, sort of. Like, we became best friends in Seattle, and then she now lives in Ithaca. And so I spent the entire weekend with her, hanging out around Boston, doing cool things. But that also meant that I got basically no reading done and also no video filming. So I'm sort of playing a little bit of catch up. I just want to get something out today. But I also want to show some of the cool books that I got for my birthday because obviously, I asked for books and I'm excited for the ones that I got. So let's jump into these. The first one is one that I specifically requested, and that is Creation Lake by Rachel Kushner. This is on the Booker long list. It's all about eco-terrorism, potentially eco-extremism, perhaps. And the way that it's like summarized in its synopsis makes it sound like a spy thriller, but every person who's read it and has like talked about it says that that is a very deceiving sort of summary and like comparison to what the book actually is. It's much more literary, it's much more meditative, but nonetheless I am thrilled to get to this one. I think of all of the books on the Booker long list, this and it's this one is the one that I'm most excited for, and then there's another one that I am sort of second most excited for. If you hear banging or just like strange scurrying, potentially Tristan's house is haunted noises, it's the kitten. So she's doing kitten things right now and being noisy and disruptive. But anyway, so yes, I am so excited to read this because it sounds wild and it sounds fantastic, right up my alley. I think it takes place in France. It does indeed. And that's very much up my alley for very well discussed reasons. Next is a book I didn't ask for. This is one that my mom gave me. It's not really a book. It's a play. It's A Doll's House by, what's the name? Henrik Ibsen. And this is translated by whom? Does it say who it was translated by? Because I believe this was written in Norwegian. It says Norwegian-born Henrik Ibsen's classic play about the struggle between independence and security still resonates with readers and audience members today. Often hailed as an early feminist work, the story of Nora and Thorvald rises above simple gender issues to ask the bigger questions. To what extent have we sacrificed ourselves ourselves for the sake of social custom and to protect what we think is love? Now, I don't remember just how much I've talked to my mom about my thesis project, but this book, as far as what those themes on the back it's discussing, sounds basically exactly the same themes and general vibe of the book that I did my thesis on, Thérèse d'Esquirol by Francois Mauriac. And so for that reason, I was very pleasantly surprised, and I'm now quite excited to read this. And the fact that it's a play is quite exciting because those go by very quickly. And so it's one that I think, I don't want to rush it, obviously, because this clearly has some interesting, deeper themes to go into. But I'm pretty interested in this. I'm probably gonna hold off. There's obviously like some note section in here. I'm gonna hold off. Sorry, the sun is like right here. So I'm gonna hold off on the notes section so that I can go into this mostly blind. I think that synopsis gives me a pretty good jumping off point to be able to analyze and like understand what's going on. So yeah, very happy about this. Very pleasant surprise. Definitely was a surprise. Another surprise was that my parents sent me money to order French books, and specifically one French book. And I'm going to actually talk about that at the very end. But I'm going to talk about two of the books that I got with. So they sent me more money than what was necessary to purchase that book. And so I bought two other books to use the rest of the. You understand what I'm saying. I'm struggling with my words, but anyway, here we are. So I got two books, both of them by Philippe Besson. The first one is going to be Paris Briançon, and this is a huis clos, or otherwise known as a single room, locked room style book story. They are a huis clos is a play or a story that takes place basically in a single room, single house. And this is about people on a train. And at the very end of the train, it's quite possible that some of the people might have found their death. I'm very, very keen to get to this. Philippe Besson is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors, and I love the way he writes. I think that his prose is very accessible, especially to somebody who does not speak French as their first language. I am reading this in French. I don't believe this one is translated to English. I'm almost certain that it's not yet, because this is one of his more recent books. I'm very excited to get to this one because, again, I love Philippe Besson's writing, and I think that this one sounds pretty interesting. And also, the cover is really pretty. I know that the sunlight is going to make it look very difficult. It's going to make it very difficult to see, but it's cool. It's mysterious and quite spooky. Maybe it's giving a little bit of like Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Perhaps. Maybe it's giving some of that, but I think he's much more like character study as opposed to murder mystery. The other one that I got from him is En l'absence des hommes, which translates to In the Absence of Men, and this takes place in the early 20th century, the 1900s. Specifically summer of 1916, and it follows Vincent, Arthur, and Marcel Proust, interestingly enough. And it is probably a novelization of maybe some things that happened in Proust's life. Because it says at the same time, Vincent attracts the attention of the renowned author Marcel Proust. And so obviously Marcel Proust is going to be in this novel, but whether or not this has actual events from Proust's life in the book, we will see, but it is certainly a fictionalization of whatever those were. And it says one of them is going to become a lover. There's two characters. Well, yeah, there's Vincent and Arthur. One of them is going to become a lover. One of them is going to become a friend to maybe Proust. Maybe it's just a love triangle where all the tips touch. But yeah, it's gonna be gay, and I'm excited for that. So yeah, that's En l'absence des hommes. You'll probably recognize the cover. I'm trying to get it out of the sunlight because this is the English cover of Lie With Me. So this is where the original cover comes from. So I'm excited for that. Okay, before I get into the last French book, I am going to talk about the other Booker book that I'm quite excited for, and that is Enlightenment by Sarah Perry. And, first of all, beautiful cover, just simply stunning, having a hard time with the sunlight. Sorry. I think that this book sounds super interesting. I know that this one is quite literary. I know people initially were thinking this was more of commercial fiction. Now people have actually read it, and they say that's an incorrect assumption. That's an incorrect label for this. It is quite literary, and it has some really beautiful meditations on humanity's place in the universe and yeah, I am very excited for this one. There is also a gay storyline in this that I'm excited for. And I will probably have some thoughts about this one given the fact that it is a not gay male writer. Which, maybe spoiler alert, that has something to do with the video I am talking about. The video I am working on for hopefully this weekend. But yeah, so that is Enlightenment by Sarah Perry. Very excited about this one. I think the two books on the Booker long list that deal with space and astronomy, I think that's cool. I think it's a fun, like, little maybe subset of books. It's well themed. Okay, now the last book that I got is the one that I specifically requested from my parents for my birthday, and they just were like, okay, well, neither of us speak French, and so we can't actually like order the book for you because it's a French website, but here's the money to do it. And that is the Œuvre romanesque et théâtrale complète de François Mauriac. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this last, and this just means the complete novels and, the complete novelistic and theatric works of Francois Mauriac. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it is something that I really wish was done for English authors, like English speaking authors, and specifically like the classic authors, Toni Morrison, Mark Twain, James Baldwin, Ernest Hemingway, E.M. Forster. Because what this specific thing is, now this is volume 2, and this may look like a small book, like it is quite tiny, but this is actually over 1,300 pages because they are Bible thin. Like, Bible thin pages. And what this is part of the La Bibliothèque de la Pléiade, and that means the Pleiades Library, is basically what that is. And they bind up basically like the great French-speaking authors, all of their works, all of their essays, their works of fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and theater, and they will sell them by author, basically. And in these bind-ups, you get a selection of those complete works. So, like I said, this is volume 2. There are 4 volumes of this particular one, and then there are also 4 volumes of his autobiographical works. This one itself contains, I believe, 3 or 4 novels of his. Let me look. Yeah, it contains 5 novels, 3 works of his theater, and 5 of his nonfiction works, his essays. They're essays, and they're more like about the novel and the art of writing. One of them is called The Novel. The other one is called The Novelist and the Novel and Their Characters. And there are also like commentary and notes on all of these. And so basically these are bind-ups designed to help you learn more about the authors and to help you study them. Mauriac is one of my favorite French authors. I think his work is fascinating. He has a very dark sense of compassion and just like his sensibilities when it comes to writing characters. He tends to walk more on the side of human darkness, and I find the way that he does that very fascinating. And also the fact that he himself was very likely gay or just queer in general. There's just a lot of interesting things about him. So I like his work. And I did my master's thesis on one of his books, Thérèse d'Esquirou. That book is in here, of course. I wanted to get this edition that had that novel in it. But yeah, this is just something I really wish that we did in English, because it's very annoying having to go and purchase individually all of these other novels. You're going to get different editions. You're going to get ones that have more robust notes, have no notes at all. you're going to get editions that are maybe like weird translations. And this one is like more or less the like scholarly standard edition of each of the texts. The ones that the scholarship, the people who study the work of these particular authors, it's the edition of those works that they have agreed upon is the most definitive, etc. And I just wish that we had that in English, because doing that with some of the great American and British authors would be great. I think that having all of Christopher Isherwood's novels and essays and all of that would be fantastic in a bind up like this. And it's just fantastic testament to how much the French really value their literature and their great authors. And I really wish that we in the English speaking world did the same for ours, because this is really an incredible bind up of the work. And I also have one for Albert Camus. I have his like complete works of theater and his novels and things like that. And I think that one is like over 2,000 pages. It's twice as thick as this. But also, like, look at how beautiful this is. It's just like a really pretty edition, and it has these really striking yellow cloth bookmarks. But yeah, so that's the one that I was really excited about and most, I think, keen to get, because this is right in my like line of scholarship and all of that. Wouldn't this be cool for the English speaking world to have like these just, it seems like something we really need. And if that does exist, please tell me where to get them, because I cannot find them. And obviously, like, these are a little expensive. This was $90, but I think it's $90 well spent, because again, you're getting like over 10 books in one, and it's a nice edition, plus all of the cool essays and like commentary and notes and everything. So yeah, that's that on that. Maybe I can tell you what's actually in this bind up, this edition. So this is Conscience, Instinct, and Divine Instinct, which is, I don't think, is this an essay? It's listed with the other fiction, so I'm gonna guess that it has to do with fiction, but it could just also be like something else. I'm not actually sure. Thérèse d'Esquirol, of course, my queen. Destin, Destinies. Le démon de la connaissance, the demon of knowledge, or the demon of consciousness, one of the two. Insomnia, what has been lost. The Den of Vipers, which is a great novel. And then the last chapter of The Leper's Kiss, which is interesting that they don't have the full novel. I'm guessing that's in a different volume of this. And then the Frontenac Mystery, which is one that has been it's a very famous one that I want to read a lot. And then for the essays, the nonfiction ones, he has The Young Man, the Province, it would be translate more as like the countryside, or like, yeah, the countryside, the rural side of things. La Province, the novel, God and Mammon, and the novelist and their characters. And then of course there's the appendices. So yeah, I really, really, really love that the French do this, because it makes collecting works from classic authors and then studying those works very convenient. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. That's all I have for my birthday book haul. I will hopefully get at least the script done for that other video that I mentioned by the end of the week. And if it's not filmed and edited and put out by the end of the week, it will be done so in the following week. I will hopefully see you again very soon with another video. I am going to be going to Provincetown for a birthday trip with my partner. So again, productivity-wise, probably not going to be a great weekend for me, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I might try to do a little like book shopping vlog. I tried to do it last time I went to Provincetown, but it was so crowded, and I'm still very much having anxiety about filming and like being a YouTuber. I think everybody deals with that. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. Once again, thank you for watching. I will see you again soon. Take care, and I hope you have a wonderful time reading. Let me know if you've read any of these books in the comments. And of course, if there are some that you want to read, let me know which ones are most titillating to you. All right. See you next time. Bye.